Hello. Hello. So I'm just sat here chopping up some like scrap fabric, like stuff like this. It's just like too small for me to use. And this is something that I try to do. I try to save like all these like weeny little scraps. And I haven't done it yet. But the intention is that I want to use these items for like literal trash. I want to use this for stuffing in like, I don't know, there's like, I have some patterns for like stuffed dolls and stuff, and I want to use this for like that kind of craft, you know. I want to like not throw away these little bits of fabric. Like, I don't know, I feel, and this is what I want to talk about today, is I have this like, I've been like struggling lately in my practice as an artist because I have this desire to like create art sustainably, right? And that's like important to me as a person, important to me as a mother. You know, I want to curate a world in which there's like a world left for my children. And you know, a big part of that is reusing and reducing our waste and consumption. And so I feel like this pressure in a lot. I mean, it's internal, but I mean, also a lot of it comes from like my mom is really, really eco and everything. And, you know, now she's like 50 something years old and like has all this time to do these things. And so I sometimes like, no offense if my mom ever watches this, but she like eco shames me sometimes. So like, I feel like I can't throw anything away. And lately I've just had my second baby just 7 months ago. And so my body isn't like the same as it used to be in a lot of ways. And like the clothes that I want to wear aren't the same as I used to be. Like I used to like have a job as a teacher, and I was an artist full time, and I was a college student. And, you know, the clothes that I want to wear now as like a mother aren't the same. And like the clothes that don't fit me aren't the same. And so, you know, I've been trying to clean up my closet, but like as a fiber artist and as a garment sewist and as a printmaker, every single thing I have in my closet, I'm like, oh my God, if I can't give this away or sell this, you know, in some way, do this like circularly in the world, like I feel so guilty and like so burdened by that. And I just don't want to like waste in that way, but in the same way that like I feel like it causes me to waste in some ways because I just keep it in here, and my studio is just like so full of like items that I need to, you know, mend a small little thing on, but it, you know, never gets done. And by the time I get around to mending it, the item doesn't fit me anymore, or it's not my style anymore, you know. And I mean, most of that is not fitting me anymore because I've had a baby and my body has changed pretty significantly. Had 2 babies. And so but then I, you know, if it doesn't fit me anymore and I don't want to wear it anymore, I like I still can't throw it away because, or like donate it or whatever, because I'm like, I could use this fabric for something else smaller, you know what I mean? And so like never throwing anything away, which I mean, I think is admirable, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of hindering me and like burdening me from, you know, being successful to make art, and it's stopping me in my tracks a little bit. And so I feel like I'm getting a little bit disenfranchised with art making, not art making, because I'm definitely wanting to make art, but it's causing me to like push away from sewing. And so lately I've been crocheting a lot and getting into like machine knitting, but that doesn't help with the fabric problem because, you know, it's still just sitting there waiting. And so I just feel like sometimes I might need to kind of like bite the bullet and like throw some things away a little bit more, or like, I don't know, kind of take some of the onus off of myself, that like the amount at this point in my life, the amount that I want to make, and that like I have ideas and thoughts and plans for, and the amount that I am able to make and able to do, and product that I'm able to use up in a sustainable way, they're not on the same level. And I think, maybe a lot of people are struggling with that, especially moms. And I mean, people who are just like attempting to be sustainable in their life. Like, I mean, look at this. Like, this is the salvage of the fabric, but I can't throw it away. I can't do it. So I'm like, this is cotton fabric. This used to be a plant. I have to keep it and chop it up into little pieces. I'm like, this is like such a waste of my time, considering like what I, need to get done and the available amount of time that I have. The vast majority of my time is not something that I can just use freely to spend, making art. Most of my time is spent parenting, which is great. That's like, the chapter I'm in right now. But I just want to use the time that I do have wisely, and I want it to serve me, because the reason, like the basic reason that I am an artist and that I make art is because I need it to serve me emotionally. Like, art making is like a haven for me. But if it becomes burdensome to me, then it's no longer serving me. You know what I mean? Then that practice is no longer serving me. And I like haven't been feeling inspired to make prints, and I've been like really going with sewing for a long time, and like have been feeling a little guilty that I'm not printmaking. But I don't know, now, and I'm feeling kind of like the same pull towards knitting, and it gives me like a sense of guilt. And I think I need to kind of like sit with that and like reconcile it so that I don't feel guilty about it, because I don't think it's something to be guilty about. Like, just because my practice changes direction doesn't mean I won't come back to it. For example, like sewing, I used to sew all the time in high school, and then I went through a long period of time where like I didn't have the ability to sew because I wasn't, I was in college. I didn't have like a place to set up my sewing. It's kind of like a stationary activity. I do sewing in my studio, and the kind of the same with the printmaking. Like one of the reasons that I haven't been feeling inspired to do printmaking lately is because of like the barriers to printmaking for me. Like, I have this studio, which I can do printmaking in, but it's a lot of effort and it takes a lot of time, and I just sometimes don't have the time to, I might have time to design an image, but I don't have time to even start carving. Or I might have time to print, but I don't have time to clean up, and you can't print without cleaning up, And so then essentially in that manner, I can't do it. And so I've been struggling with that. I think part of being an artist and part of being a mother is that you struggle with that kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. You tell me, right? But I don't know. It feels good to kind of get it off my chest. And also to get this done is good too. Like, I can't put these in the trash, but I hopefully can use them up. And you know what? After I've done all this effort, I don't want to fucking throw them away. And I spent money on them, and like, I don't make any money really for my art at this point. I do sometimes save money because I save money on like garments because I make them myself or thrift them. And I save money on fabric compared to like if I was buying everything new. And I'm going to save money on stuffing, but I'm not making positive money. I'm just kind of reducing output. And that's one of the things about printmaking, is that there's no like monetary reward. I'm not even saving money. I haven't made a lot of sales. I guess I did sell some of my last prints, but like the amount of time that it takes me to do it and the amount of money that that comes back is like not even close, baby. Which I don't think is a bad thing. I think that if I had more time to dedicate to it and like more ability to focus on it and get stuff done, I think I could be pretty prolific. And so I think, you know, that's something for the future. You know, when my kids are a little bigger, when my schedule is a little bit more consistent. Like right now I have like a baby literally playing over there. And, you know, she's gonna, you know, any moment could be the moment that she cries and like needs me to go nurse her. Or for example, on Monday, my son like puked at school. His like kindergarten, he only goes 3 days a week and it's only for 6 hours a day. So I am getting, and I have a baby at home with me during those times. So when I'm not doing household work or childcare, that is when I have time in my studio. And that is dependent on if my baby is cooperative. So, right? Ooh, she's so cute. So cute. You know, it's like, I have all this stuff I want to do, but I have to sacrifice. And that makes it less fun, you know? And part of it for me, like part of the therapeutic element of art making for me is getting in like the zone, you know? And if I can't get in the zone, it's not giving me that therapeutic element. It's like giving me more stress. And I don't want that. I don't want to feel stressed by my art, but I also don't want to give this up because, you know, there was a few years after I finished art school that I couldn't get into it. I didn't have the facilities. I didn't have the money. And so there was just a few years where I didn't make any art, and I hated that. And it was like such an uphill battle and fight to start making art again. And so, you know, here I am finally doing it again. And I just can't let circumstance take that away from me. But I'm also like feeling like I'm sacrificing a lot to have the opportunity to do this, even though it's in some ways kind of stressful and burdensome to me. Kind of, you know, I want this to be like a fruitful thing that I do, but, you know, sometimes it's not. Which is fine, you know? Not everything has to be, you know, there's ups and downs, good and bad of every situation, so it is the way it is. Right? I just don't like feeling like I'm rushing. I've made so much stuffing. Oh my gosh. I hope this works. I hope I'm able to use this. If I'm not able to use this, I'm going to be pissed. But that's, I think, one of the reasons I am like I'm enjoying using, like doing crochet projects is because it's really portable. So I'm able to bring it with me and like sneak it in a little bit. And I'm also able to do it sometimes while taking care of my kids. You know, if we're just like having a relaxing afternoon and the kids are just like playing and watching TV and I'm just hanging out, I can like, you know, get a few rows in, and that feels good. It feels like I'm giving myself a moment there. And I'm also able to do it a lot in the car when like we go somewhere a little bit far away on the weekends. Then just sitting in the car while my husband drives, because he's the weekend driver, I am able to get like, you know, a good like hour or two crocheted in. And, you know, with crochet, that's a lot of progress. And also because I feel like I have this understanding that crochet takes a long time. And I'm not crocheting out of like necessity. Like with sewing, a lot of the times, like I sew because I need clothes, and I live in Japan, and I'm a Western woman, so I can't, and I'm, heavier than I used to be. I can't find clothes that fit me and are my style and are comfortable. And easily, like I could potentially in the US. And so I'm sewing because I need to. It's like an art for me, but it's also like I want, comfortable underwear, so I have to make them. And oh goodness, you okay? Oh, okay. That's just the way it is. That's my musings for today. I'm gravitating right now towards those things, and I'm having a hard time emotionally reconciling with, producing more in my crochet than in my sewing. I feel a little bit like I'm abandoning sewing, and I feel like I have like an opportunity right now with print, but I'm not feeling inspired at all to do it. And if I like quit on it, I know I'm like letting down a friend, and I don't want to do that. So, but I just like don't want to do it. Man, I don't want to do it. But talking about it made me feel a little better. So, thanks. Bye.